Welcome back to my third class of HPLM 12.5. So let's go it here and let's go to our back to our HPLM. How to use, so we are learning how to use this module, how to use this tool, right? So we pretty much understood about requirements module, although we, as a testing perspective, we don't create any requirements. We view the requirements. You don't even have write access, you only have read access. Okay, we can modify this. It's nothing to do with access. We can view this and see what the requirement is. So we talk about this, we already talked about this in the previous class, and we are going to the next module, that is test plan. Here comes the action. Now the problem is sometimes if you're, so here's the thing, and this is very tricky thing. So HPLM is always a tricky thing. This plays a very confusion part in your project, to be honest, if you're using HPLM, especially this 12.5. I'm not sure about 16th version. They might have come up with the new modules and new things, but this is pretty much tricky here. Okay, so you go to the test plan module. So we are in the test plan, see here, and this is the root directory subject. This is always subject. Probably you can change it, or administrator can change it. If not, it will be a subject or it will be a root. Alright, this is always unattached. I don't know what is this for. So this is always there. Okay, so we'll not to worry about that. So okay, my probably I wanted to work on this, so let's not worry about this. So the question here is, when you come into this test plan module, now the question is, the first question is, there has to be a project called GMO Online or something related with GMO. We know we are working on GMO project, right? GMO is Green Mountain Outpost. I'm sorry, I didn't explain that earlier. So Green Mountain Outpost, let's see that as a project. Okay, it's a template or just an example for you for an understanding. A real-time project are differently. I mean, if you're working on, let's say, finance project, it will be like bill pay system or something else, but here the retail, let's take it as a retail domain, and we're working on retail systems, right? You see here Macy's login systems, real-time project, something like that. So the question is, you might have the project already here, or you may not have the project already here. Alright, so that's the question. So here this is something for training purposes, so this is pretty much easy and is like only this, but real time expect a lot more words, like there will be. So here's the thing, when you let's take an example here. Let's say you are working as a functional tester, right, and you are supposed to write test cases, and you got into test plan module, and you see like thousands of folders and thousands of directories and thousands of you will be like, where I'm supposed to write this test cases? That's a very good question. Where you're supposed to write these test cases? I know, right? I mean, I was confused when I was first. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? Okay, so what you want to do is, if there is a project name, if you're lucky, you will have this project. Oh, I got my project, this is lucky. But you might not be lucky every time. So in that case, you want to create the project. So most possibly or most probably there will be a project, because here's why there will be a project. Here's why I'm saying, because there are a lot of people who are working. There are developers who are working on it. There are project managers who are working on it. There are architect people who are working on it. Developers working on it. UAT testers are working on it. Your manager working. Oh my God, there's a lot of people. You see that? It's right. I mean, so most possibly there will be a project called GMO Online. Now you got into Pine, so we know there will be a project. And there will be a scenario where there is no project. In that case, you want to create, okay, you will have write and read access, you have all the access here. You may or may not have the delete access, but don't delete anything. Just don't delete anything in real time too. It's not your job. Okay, that's the reason I created a directory saying that if you want to delete, put in delete directory. I learned something good from one of my project. I was working in Barclays project, and they have, like, you cannot delete that administrator disable this option. You cannot delete anything. Cannot delete anything, because they have project critical thing, and that's a finance domain. Those people are very strict. I mean, if you delete something which is even not in the production, forget about production. If it's not in test environment, dev environment, they will fire you immediately. I mean, they'll not fire you something, but they will be like very serious on you, and they will be very thinking, oh, this guy is not good, he is deleting. So that's the reason, you don't want to delete anything. If you want to delete something, put in the delete directory or something like that. But in some companies, they are lenient. They might delete, but don't do it. It's not for us. Okay. So now let's come into the main part here to GMO Online. This is problematic. Now, since we already have this project, I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna delete this one. I hope nobody. Oops. Okay, here I can do delete because I'm administrator. I know what I'm doing. So in real time, don't do that. Okay. Why? Because I want to show you how to do this from scratch. We are doing from scratch. Okay. Now let's assume that the project is already exist. Here we are saying that the project already exists. If it doesn't exist, you want to go to subject and create a new directory, new folder, and create the GMO Online like this. If it doesn't exist, since it exists here, so we don't have to create. Very good. Once you have done that, what you want to do is go ahead and click on new test. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click on new test. Okay, good. Now here you have to see the red color information. You want to always fill this red color information. So GMO Online project. Just put as name as project. Since these fields are very very small, and it's pretty straightforward. So design imported ready repaired. So we are in design stage. Test effort, you can put 8 hours, so we'll just score 10 hours. I hope that accepts. Test priority, we'll just leave it there. So here, so there will be a lot of people who will be working on, as I told you. Here you see here, there will be a lot of people working on. There will be UAT testers, there will be performance testers, there is SIT system integration testers, the unit testers, of course that belongs to developers, but they might also be working on. Then the system testers, a lot of people will be working in a lot of things. So here, let's not confuse it, and we'll put it manual. We'll just stick to manual. Okay, there's too much of information which we do not want to know about it, right? That's ignorance is a bliss. If you read that book, you understand that ignorance is a bliss. The less you know, the better position you will be in. So, yeah. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't know anything. Like you have to know at least something. So, description. So here, since I'm a manual tester, let's not worry about UATs, SIT, unit testers, performance tester, load tester. Oh my God, it's too much information. Let's not worry about it. I'm a manual tester. We will be working on to test. Just a description. Just a description here. Functionalities and features of GMO Online, right? Why am I always this thing gets uppercase? I don't know. Okay, probably I always keep shift button online. So okay, to test functionalities and features of GMO Online, and I click on OK. Okay, now what did I do? I just created a framework, in a directory, or in a folder. I have created a framework called this kind of, I'll call it a test, Now when you see this folder, you didn't see all these modules. You see here these modules, you don't see in this folder. So that's the drawback of this HPLM though. Now what here you have assigned is test IDs for free. They have assigned, this is I mean not free, I mean this is automatically generated for you as test ID. So this gets generated every time when you create a new test case. So this is not the test case, this is kind of, I would call this as test set. The test set is also not proper name, but okay, we'll put as test set for time being. Okay. Now what you are going to do here is design steps. So we will go through this each and every process here. Okay. So here you have assigned as test ID, that is 281, and our description is to test functionalities and features of GMO Online. Since we are in manual, which is blocked, now you cannot change it. Oh, no, not that you cannot change it, you can, oh yeah, you cannot change it right now, it's too bad. Okay, never mind. It's created, that's it. Who is the designer? So here's one thing what you want to know is, let's say if you are working in such a company where you have to create test cases, you have to execute the test cases. Most of the case, there is a scenario. Alright? Does it make sense? When you create a test cases, you execute the test cases. Alright. There will be a scenarios where you create the test case, you keep creating test cases, somebody else execute the test cases. Now, because the company becomes very big, right, like Google or Amazon, like big companies, big corporations, now there are no more Inc. Inc is an incorporation, this is like corporation directly. So in this large corporations, your job will be very narrowly limited to creating test cases. So you will be creating test cases for rest of your life. So in that case, designer will be you and the tester will be someone else. But let's not worry on working on Google or Amazon or something else. Let's worry on this. We are the testers, so we will be creating our own test cases and we will be executing our own test cases. That's good. Let's go to the next one, design steps. Let's create a test case. Although you can import a test case, so we will talk about this probably. So I plan to probably pin it down to 2 more classes, probably 3 in the max 3, and see how can we do this. Okay. So let's create a test case for now. Okay, good. So this is my application and I want to create a test case. Now let's not worry about writing a test case. Before creating a test case, test steps, here we call test steps. Before creating a test steps, you want to jot it down to test scenarios. So you want to come up with positive scenarios, you want to come up with negative scenarios, you want to come up with boundary values, you want to come up with although there is a lot of UAT testers will take care of it, the performance people take care of it, but these 3 are major, like positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values. Boundary values is limited, not every time you create this boundary values. You want to check header, you want to check footer, right, and you want to see cosmetic issues. 4 important things. Cosmetic issues also plays a major role. Although very low priority, very leastly worried about it, developer will be least worried, but if you don't have any job, that's the other thing you will be working on, cosmetic issues. Alright, let's try to create a test case. Click on this option. So once you are in design steps, right? Click on new step, and once you get this, you create. So we'll do from scratch. So what I'll do is I'll put like enter the URL demo.borland.com/gmopost into the Chrome browser. Now this thing gets more and more complex. Now you want to test this application. This is an application, web application. You want to test this for Chrome browser. You want to test this for you want to test this for Firefox, Mozilla Firefox. You want to test this for IE, Internet Explorer. You want to test this for Microsoft Edge. You want to test this for Apple Safari in Mac. Oh my God, there is a lot of testing going on. So right now we are just sticking to Chrome browser. Okay, just don't worry about too many things. Okay. So description and expected result, two important things. Enter the URL into Chrome browser, and I would say there is no option of like they removed everything. Like I'll say like hit enter. That's what I'm going to do, right? So I'll take this URL and put into the Chrome browser and hit enter. There is no go option of it, remove everything. So that's the reason. And what is the expectation? That's a very good question. So homepage of GMO Online should be displayed as per the requirement. Now here's the question. You are not going to test as you like. This is not something which you have to do whatever you want. No, you are not doing that. You want to do homepage. It should be matched with the requirement. So what is the requirement? So that is something which you have to check back with your lead or your business analyst, or if you have the document ready, you want to check it out with that, but not whatever you want, right? Remember this. And click OK. That's good. This is our first step, step 1. So this is what displayed. That's good. This is what we find. Let's write it down. Second step. Now what's the second step? Now my second step is click on enter GMO Online button. So second step is click on. So once the home page is displayed, now we are on the home page. Click on this button. What is this button? Enter GMO Online. Enter GMO Online button, and that's all it is. So what happens is you get online catalog page. So what is expected result? Page is navigated to online catalog page as per the online catalog as per the requirement. So remember, this thing is very important. It should be as per the requirement, not as you want. No, you don't do whatever you want. You want to see the requirement. Is it navigating or no? If it's not getting, open a defect. You can open a defect right from here. Actually you can do this, but it's not required. You can do it from here, but it's not required. Alright, you know what, GMO Online, I'll just modify this. I hope I can modify this. Yeah. Very good. I did that. Okay. Now let's go to step 3. What happens in the step 3? Now enter. So this. Now I know this Green Mountain Post is a retail business. We are doing with the retail business. So enter the value in the order quantity 10 in the 3% dome tent. So what I'll do is enter the value 10 in the order quantity, for 3% dome tent. Right, for 3% dome tent. So I'll be able to now 10 and click on what? Click on place an order button. Place an order button. Let's put this in this. Place an order button. Alright. Okay, here we have this uppercase. So what is expected result? Let's find out. So since we already know this application, we can do this, but normally you have to do through the documents. This is not always so easy to do this. Okay, so page is navigated to place order page. So what happens is page is navigated or redirected, whatever you want to use. As if you know, if you are a British English, then you can use British English. If you are American English, use American English. If you are Chinese English, you can use Chinese English. If you are Indian English, then you can use English. There's nothing. This you can use whatever you want, but you get the point, the whole point, right? Page is navigated to place order page. We'll just put this as place order page as per the requirements. Oh man, you never forget that, as per the requirements. Okay, and click on OK. 3, we can create 2 more probably. And okay, so now what happens is this button is there. So click on proceed with order button. So go ahead and click on again, new step. Click on proceed order page. I'm sorry, click on proceed order button, not page. Sorry. This is a button, right? This is a button. So what happens? So we already know. So that's the reason. But in the document, you have to write test cases based on documents. Not always in the. This application is ready, so that's why we are doing this. But in the real time, the application may not be ready. In that case, you want to write through. But for training purposes, this is important. So because okay. So page is navigated to what? The billing information page. Okay. Oh, never forget as per the requirements. Okay. And click on OK. Very good. Now fill up all this information here. Card number. What's my card number? So here you can use in American Express. Oh. I can use anything here. American Express credit card number. I don't care. This is a test one, so don't worry about it. Expiration is 12/20. Right. Now my billing address is same as. I'm sorry. My shipping address is same as billing address. So I'm clicking this. If your shipping address is different than billing address, then you want to put your shipping address as different, because billing address is something which is related to your your credit card, but shipping address is where it's supposed to ship. So let's go back here. Click on new step. Fill all the information in the billing information page. And click on place the order button. Okay, what happens? Let's find out. So I will be charged this. So this is my receipt. So so this is the receipt. Okay, online receipt. Okay, this is online receipt. So what I call is online store receipt. So page is redirected to, or page is navigated to online store receipt page as per the requirement. Alright, and click on OK. So I can add one more step here. Click on new step, and here what happens, return to home page. Click on return to home page button. What happens is we'll go to the home page. So click on return to the home page. Page is navigated to home page of GMO Online. Alright. Oh, as per the requirement. Never miss that. Alright, so we have created our, let's say, assume that we have created 6 steps, but there could be more than 6 steps. I have created, like, you have to create test cases. I would create maximum of 20. I don't go beyond 20, because if you are creating more than what actually it is, then you are wasting your time just for creating test cases. You want to do more testing. So let me reiterate this. So what is a test case? So let's say that somebody asks you this, what is a test case? Test case is a high level document created by QA analyst or QA engineer or QA, QA tester. QA tester, QA analyst, QA engineer. Of course, there are levels: QA engineer level 1, QA engineer level 2, QA engineer level 3. Not to worry about at this point of time. But as a QA point of view, I would say what is the test case? Test case is a high level document created by QA analyst. So when I say this high level, that means it should be in high level. We are not going into detail. Detail is you have to do testing. Now you have to test for each and everything here. Okay, we have to test for. Okay, so you know what? This becomes very complicated because audit reviews, there will be an audit reviews and they will test each and every test case. They will call project manager, they will call manager, all 4 or 5 people and they are not technically expert, but they want their application, web application or client application like perfect. So they will say, okay, what does this test case do? Show me right now. So you want to show this 4 to 5 people, so that becomes very stressful. Okay, so I can modify this actually. So to open this, right? Right. So I'll just do one thing. So there is an option of just like pop-up window, right? Yeah, here you go. So you can modify this. Yeah. So okay, so there is a 2 options to edit this test case. Either you can use this option here, right here itself, or just highlight this and click on edit, and this will pop up window. So I prefer this pop up window, saying that you can add attachment to. Not required though, but of course sometimes you might require if you are doing automation testing, UDP testing or something. Alright, so here everything is since we have written very less test case, not sufficient. So what you want to do is you have to put lot of your high level information. We put like high level information like performed for let's see here, positive. Since we created only positive test cases, so I'll just copy this and paste it. Perform for negative test. I'll take this. This doesn't have boundary values, so let's not worry about these boundary values, because boundary values have this range. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, so we'll just not worry about it. Performed cosmetic changes, sorry, cosmetic test. Performed what else is there? Let's move for. Do you remember anything? Cosmetic checks, header and footer. Okay, and most important, this company, this comes under footer, so header. So okay, so performed images, text, etc. as per the requirement. Now you don't go beyond the requirements. If you are testing something, it should be in the requirement. You don't go because there are a lot of people working on it. Somebody else will be. So you have to make sure it should be as per the requirement and click on OK. Since we have since this is let's do this. I put space. There is a space, but it's not it. Okay, never mind. So now I have created a test cases for GMO Online. So this is how you create a test case in HPLM 12.5. Okay. Now what you want to do here, this is the test case, creation of test. Let's go to next. You can do a lot of, you can delete a test case. You don't want to do that, but there is an option of deleting. You can copy the test case. Let's go to next. Go for your parameters. Let's clean this filter. Parameters are something which you work when you are working on QTP, I mean automation testing, then you use this option of using parameters. Otherwise it's not required. As a manual testing, most probably you will not be required this unless and until you have this you're working with automation and you're working with, so you require this. Attachment, I don't think I require attachment at this point of time. Okay, but still you probably, if you want, you can attach it, so you have this option of attach. Test configuration, very interesting. I don't think I have ever created like this, but ID GMO Online project ID. Okay, this is automatically created for you. Probably I don't think I have created, but you can create your own, like you create this and you can write it. That's the test coverage. Aha, here you go. Now this is called RTM. Now let's talk about this module. RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Let's find out. To do that, click on select. So you know the definition, right? What is RTM? It's not requirement traceability matrix. Requirement traceability matrix is all the test case should at least match one requirement. So to do that, click on this umbrella looking icon. Now what you're doing here is you are actually browsing the requirement. You see this requirement tree? You are actually browsing the requirement. Where is my GMO Online? Here you go. Oh wait, not that, this one. I can either drag and drop, or I can put this here. There you go. I'm done. I'm good. Now why is this? The question to me is always, why this? Why do I require this? So that's a very good question actually. Why do you require RTM? So this is for actually most useful for business analyst people who are actually want to see your test cases. That's why they always say please do RTM, please link your test cases to the requirements, or else this requirement is abandoned, this requirement doesn't have any coverage, this requirement is all those pressure from business analyst people. So that's the reason you require this, and it's good to know because it is linked with, that it is linked with the different project, different requirement, right? So that's the important thing. Alright, so that's GMO online. So this is the requirement traceability matrix, where you link the existing requirement from the requirements and put it into here, right here. Okay, so that you can see this is the requirement. Then you have this linked defects. Now remember, we clear this filters. This is always a problem. Okay, link defects. I don't think this is useful, ever gonna be useful, or even if it does, but I will be seeing the same thing in the test module. For me, that will be tomorrow. We'll complete this, more 2 to 3 classes actually, and we'll complete this. So what happens is, you can link the existing defects in the test lab, but I will not be doing this in the test plan module. The reason, because it becomes more and more complex and confusing. The first place is, why did you link with the test plan when you have in the test lab? The question is the simple question, right? So I mean, this, if I was the administrator, I would have removed this. This is not required really. But yeah, you have an option of doing that. And the HPLM, right? I mean, I really don't like that, but just because you don't like it doesn't mean that you don't have to learn. You have to know this, and you have to at least work on it. Alright, so let's go to dependencies. This is dependencies. If you have any dependencies, you can show it up right here. Or we can do it more here. Business model linkage. Remember, we have this in the requirements. We have seen this. It's not for us, and most probably we will not be having access to this too. This is for business people, for whoever is working on it, and they can, they can create these models. And I was not able to create this model, so we are not able to do that. So our paths or activities, some sort of, you can do that one. History is for your manager to track what are you doing, why is it in design stage, why is not in running, so all those kind of things, right? So that's pretty much on the test plan. This is what test plan is all about. Now the question is, so this is the question. Now this test cases doesn't end here. This design steps is very complex here. Now it doesn't end up here. So remember we did for Chrome browser. Now you're gonna do this for Internet Explorer, you're gonna do this for Microsoft Edge, you're gonna do this for Mozilla Firefox, you're gonna do this for Safari for Mac. There's a separate system for the Mac. You're gonna do for, okay, let's stop here. We don't want to go to Opera and all this stuff. Okay, let's stop here. So what you want to do here is, now you want to write all these test cases, right? No, I don't want to write all these test cases. Seriously, you're kidding me? I'm not going to write all these test cases. I've already written here. Why would I write all the test cases again? Now that's a very good question. So what I'll do here is, I'll go ahead, right click on this and copy, okay, and click on this folder directory and click on paste. Alright, so when I go here, this is already created, the test case is already created here for me. So what I'll do here is, oh yeah, I can do here. So what I'll do is, I'll remove this copy and I'll put here for Internet Explorer. Alright, and I'll go ahead and click on steps and change it into Internet Explorer instead of Chrome. Guess what? I'll just copy this. Probably that might work better, or it might not work. Okay, it worked. Good. And click on OK. Very good. Now this is the thing what you want to do always. Now you will be writing plenty of test cases if you are a tester or developer. Even if you are a developer, you are going to write this test case for unit testing. Remember, unit testing you have to do. So no matter you are a developer, no matter you are an architect, no matter you are a CIO, no matter you are a CEO, whatever, probably you might not be using this as a module, but you want to know this information so that you want to utilize that same thing for yourself. No, I'm not gonna do this, write this test case again. No, you're kidding me. I'm not gonna do this. I'll be just go ahead and click on again, go ahead and oops, sorry, I didn't copy. Whoever invented this copy paste is really very useful thing. Now I'll go back here. Now what I'm gonna do here is, since I need to test for so many browsers and so many things, let's put as put up Microsoft Edge. Edge is still there, right? Yeah, I hope it's there. Okay, so let's copy this and put it here. Very good. Right, and click on OK. Very good. Now again, I'm gonna do this for paste. Okay, and double click on this, and I'm gonna go here and remove this and put it as Firefox browser, and go to here and change it to Firefox. Right, and click on OK. Great. Now there is one more thing left. We're going to do for Safari. Click on paste. Okay, double click it and Safari. Now this thing is tricky thing, Safari thing, because you want to do this on the Mac. You won't do this on any other browser. Any other system. You want to use this Mac and then test it in that. Okay, you cannot do this in your system and you have said that you have completed for Safari. No, that's not appropriate way of doing this. Now these are the test cases you have created yourself. Right? Does it make sense? Any sense? Hopefully, if not completely. So I have created only for Chrome browser. Now you see this, I don't want to create redundant work too much of same thing. I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be clicking this button, I'll be entering these values, no matter it's 10, put it 20, I don't care. You put it 30, 100, 1000, 1 million, 2 million. I want to test it. I don't care what value you put, but you have to. Oh, I didn't tell you special characters too. You want to use the special characters. So that's a native testing, right? Cosmetic test. So I never told you about cosmetic test. Okay, that's a separate different class. We will not talk about that and take more time on this. So this is how you create your test cases. I hope this clears your writing test cases for different browsers. I'm not going to write each and every test case for everything. Just copy and paste. You write once, replicate many times, change the values, change Chrome browser, Safari, Firefox, and you have created plenty of test cases. 6 test cases, 6 into 3, 5, 6, 5 are 30 test cases. You have created 30 test cases. That's more than enough for your project. You don't go beyond 20 test cases in each set. You have Chrome, let's say your Chrome browser, you don't go beyond 20 test cases. Then your work will not be productive. You want to make sure that your work should be as productive as possible, but you shouldn't waste time working only on test cases but not actually doing testing. You want to test it, right? But this is how you create the test case. So that's pretty much on test plan. We'll work on test lab and defects module. That will be and also one more module, how to import your test cases to this from an Excel sheet, right? So I'll take that as a last class, but you have an option to import your test cases from the from actually Excel. So let's say you want to write in HPLM, or probably somebody else is written in Excel, and they say that you just import it. I don't have time to write. So you cannot waste time in writing test case. You have to import it. So in that case, I will show you how to import the test cases into here, right? But this is how to write the test cases. Okay. So let's summarize this. So what is a test plan? You just write the test cases. That's all it is. So before writing test cases, you jot it down into scenarios. What kind of scenarios you want? You want positive scenarios, you want negative scenarios, boundary values, cosmetic test, header and footer, images, text, etc. as per the requirement. And you want to test it for what? Test it for Chrome browser, test it for Firefox, test it for Internet Explorer, test it for Microsoft Edge, test it last in Safari. That will be on Mac system. You want to check in the Mac, wherever it is. So that's pretty much ends up with test plan module in HPLM 12.5. Okay. So this is just for for your understanding. Just don't take it as just now you have to do for this, just for understanding. Probably I'll get a lot of negative feedback for this, but you don't have access. That's the whole point. So sorry about that. So that's pretty much okay. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next class. Probably today I've taken like 3 classes, right? I'll be coming tomorrow back, and I'll be explaining 2 other modules, test lab and as well as defects, and the last one is how to import your test cases. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you in the next class. Thanks.